Hey, what's going on everyone? Instigator92 here, and in today's video we are going to be talking a little bit about the Battlefield 6 beta that just went on this weekend. So real quick, I've been having a lot of fun playing the beta. The guns feel really good, they're fun to shoot, and kind of just play with. Like, nothing seems like it's too crazy. Like, when I say that, like, nothing feels like it's very strong or a better option than the other. All the classes feel nice and unique like they used to back in the day. I'll definitely be playing a lot more in the closed weapons game modes rather than the open, because I prefer that more classic Battlefield style. I don't want to see, like, engineers running around with snipers or machine guns or anything like that. I kind of like the role that everyone used to have in play. The gunplay doesn't feel arcadey like Call of Duty or some more other modern games that are out now. So that's something that I really enjoy. I don't like that hand-holding, every shot I shoot at someone's going to hit, because a lot of games use like a hit scan model nowadays. And even the vehicles are pretty fun to use, like the tanks. And I haven't had a chance to use the anti-air tank yet, but like the anti-air batteries are fun to use. Helicopters and jets I haven't figured out yet. I'm mouse and keyboard this game, so very different. I'm definitely on a learning curve there. Although, I would like to see some changes come to the tank's reticle, because it seems like when people get close, my reticle kind of gets dragged down, like it's almost wants to like lock on. Which is a little strange. I don't recall the tanks ever having that. Battlefield 4 was my very last game that I played. I didn't get into Battlefield 1. I was one of the people that didn't buy Battlefield 5 when they said if you don't like it, don't buy it. And then 2042, I just simply never had any interest in. So I don't know if any of those games really started to bring that forth, but tanks, there's a little something going on with the reticle when someone runs right in front of the tank. It just likes to get dragged down. Concerns that I kind of have going forward, it seems like they only let you group up with 3 of your friends. Back in the day, used to be able to go and search up servers or lobbies with multiple friends. You can go in there with more than just a group of 3 or 4. You used to be able to queue up with a larger group and then just split up into a couple squads. I would like to see some of that kind of functionality come back. I just don't like having to pick only a few friends to play with when, we got 32 people on the team and we could easily fill out 2, maybe 3 squads. Just seems like it's part of like that modern day gaming where it's hard to like play with the larger group in games now. Like you're stuck with just 3 or 4 friends. The next thing on my list of concerns has to kind of do with the size of the maps. I know this is a beta. I know we've only got a couple maps, so maybe these are just the 2 that they happen to pick. But when it comes to the conquest side of things, the 2 maps that we have seem kind of on the small side. I would hope that there's going to be some larger maps, akin to like what we used to have in Battlefield 3 and 4. I do hope that the game is not going to suffer from this thought process that they need to keep players engaged and active all the time, because part of the charm of the old games was there was a bit of that milsim aspect, but it wasn't very heavy. Battlefield's always kind of towed that line pretty well, I felt, where you have some arcadey aspects and some milsim, and that kind of included, a little bit of travel time getting from point to point. They were never anything drastic, like it didn't take minutes to get across the map. Maybe take a minute or 2 if you were running to get to a spot. But the maps used to be bigger. They used to be a lot more accommodating for the vehicles, especially things like helicopters, which currently in the 2 maps we have, only one has helicopters, and they get shot down pretty easily. Tanks don't have very many paths to go forward. They seem to be very limited to like maybe 2 or 3, which makes it very predictable and easy to just go throw out some C4 or just kind of sit there with some RPGs, and they're just like stuck going into very narrow pathways. So yeah, I just kind of like to see some, hopefully at launch, larger maps. I do have one really big nitpick when it comes to the beta so far, that being the sniper glint on snipers. It seems to be very pronounced and very bright at times, and it's kind of obnoxious to look at, really. Especially when someone's looking directly at you, it looks like the rainbow's coming your way. Yeah, so maybe that's something that just could kind of be toned down, just a little bit. Actually, more than a little bit, please. So to kind of go back to the size of the maps, there was a leak recently for a couple maps that'll be coming in the future for Battlefield 6. If I recall, I don't think they're going to be launch maps, but like DLC. They are a little bit bigger than what was kind of in the beta, as far as like compared to Siege of Cairo. Some of these maps I would definitely like to see maybe something a little bit bigger, but the largest of the maps that's here, Mirak Valley, seems like that'll be a good size, and I think that for Battlefield they should consider more maps that size, maybe a touch bigger, but not really too many maps that are Siege of Cairo. Eastwood seems like it wouldn't be too terrible, but that seems like it's a lot more like what we already kind of have with that mountain map at Peak, I think it was called, or whatever. Can't remember the name, but I think the larger maps in general just work better, mostly because I like to play Conquest, and that's a size of map that everything just feels a lot smoother. It feels like Battlefield, and it doesn't feel like everyone's compressed into a small space when you got 64 players running around on a map. Some more good news post-beta. The movement got nerfed. We will no longer have people launching themselves with the slides across the map and around the map. Kind of ridiculous in the first place. Battlefield's not a movement shooter, never was. The pace of gameplay was getting a little nuts, especially on the smaller, more close quarters maps. Shotgun's finally getting nerfed too. That thing definitely was a little overbearing. A lot more so than it should be. Especially when you look at it from a gameplay POV. It's just overperforming, doing a little bit too much, being able to one-tap people like that. If my sniper rifle can't one-tap people with a body shot, I don't think a shotgun in a game should. And then a little graphic here that I will include in the video. Some stats from the beta. I'm definitely not shocked that the shotgun pretty much hit almost 338 million kills. Kind of shows how ridiculous that thing was being. A lot of people definitely went assault. I think the faster pace of gameplay with shotgun probably led to that. So that class is probably the most abused one. Kind of shocked support came in second, because sometimes it felt like people weren't really actually doing revives. So if there's that many people running around to support, any of you watching this, please take out your paddles and get some more revives going. Not just your friends or squad mates. Help everyone else out. The goal is to win the game. Engineer came in a close third behind support, and then Recon was the least played class. Recon's also my favorite class, so I guess the less people there are playing that, the more value I get. Considering my one friend likes to tell me all the time that I'm not doing enough revives and reviving people. Maybe he'll appreciate the effort and the work I put in on Recon with getting spots out and whatnot. So to kind of close out the video, overall thoughts on the Battlefield 6 beta. I thought it was good. I had a lot of fun playing with my friends. Had that one friend that needled a little bit too much about the revives while on Recon, but that's its own little thing. That doesn't really affect the game. Probably going to be getting it in October. We will see. I'm not 100% sure what I'll be doing as far as games I'll be playing. But for the channel, if I get it, I'll definitely be doing some streaming with that game. And maybe I'll actually become a proficient pilot with the helicopter and jet. Who knows? But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video here. Appreciate everyone that stuck around and made it this far. Really appreciate it. If you're new around here, or if you haven't already, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button, especially to see more content like this. And I will catch you guys in the next one.